today I'm actually going to make something that is what you would make to impress your in-laws if they were coming. And if you're not Bangladeshi, it's even better because you can very easily impress anyone if you have all of the ingredients. And someone once told me that if you slice onions while you have a toothpick in your mouth, your eyes don't get teary. So I'm going to put a cinnamon bark in my mouth and see if it works. I'll let you know. So I'm munching on the cinnamon bark because it actually does work, although it's hard to talk with it on. My eyes are starting to tear up, which means this is a really nice and fresh onion. If you don't want your eyes to tear up, what you have to do is you have to soak the onion in water and then pop it in the fridge for a day, and you start slicing it the next morning and you will not have teary eyes, my friend. Everything in Bangladeshi cuisine has to be full fat. There's no skim, there's no dieting. You go for the calories and you brace it all the way. The other thing is ghee. Now, unfortunately, we're 99% Muslim, which means we have no bacon. Having no bacon means that pungent smell that you wake up to and your roommate is cooking and you can't have any of it. We lose that. So ghee is an amazing substitute, not for bacon, but for that flavor which you start with. It's caramelly, it's delicious, and what you have to remember is it's high quality ghee. It should be that brown caramel color. This is a bit strange. It's called Joytri, which you can purchase at any real Indian store, which around England you find all of the time. So sprinkle that in, and this is what adds the biryani authentic essence to it. So one of my passions in life is butter. When I was a little kid, we'd go to Bangladesh and they would actually sell really nice creamy white butter wrapped in banana leaves, and men would carry it on their heads, and so then you would buy it fresh and just slather it on, square pieces of bread, sprinkle sugar on it. It was delicious. Of course, you could never have authentic Bengali food without heat. So you must have some chili peppers, and in order for the flavor to really saturate, you cut slits in it, and that way the seeds just pour out. That's what adds that touch of heat, which will make your friends cry and forget the fact that there's no wine on the table, because all they're gonna ask for is water. Feel free to use your hands. Remember to wash your hands really carefully after, otherwise you'll have salmonella poisoning, and that's not good for anyone. There's something called dali belly, which is basically constant diarrhea. If it's your first time going to Bangladesh, I guarantee you will have dali belly. So rice is a staple for all Asians. It is the equivalent of bread, pasta. Without rice, we die. My mother would not go on holidays with my father because back in the olden days, there wasn't rice everywhere. Interestingly, right now we have in America an election run-up, and so Donald Trump, our dear friend, has at some point decided that Muslims are the big evil. And it's interesting how history works, because not that long ago, all of the Japanese were rounded up and popped into internment camps. So I figure if you do round up all the Muslims and put us into internment camps, as long as we have Wi-Fi, rice, and water, we'll be okay for a short period of time. The pulao, however, probably won't be served. So one of the arts to really good biryani is layering. I think in every amazing cuisine they have lots of layering. The Greeks have moussaka, which is so good with the bechamel sauce, and it's rich and thick and it'll give you a heart attack. The Italians have their lasagna. And for Bangla food, the reason that you layer it is if you were to add all of the rice to all of the meat and stir it around, it would be bharta, which essentially means that all the rice would break down and it would just be a gloopy mush. You're not making risotto. And if you give a Bengali risotto, they'll think it's gross because they think that the cook doesn't know what they're doing. We want rice to be fluffy and airy and soft. So when you layer it, you're essentially taking the meat and you're putting the rice in between so that all of the sauce is infused within the rice. So now you actually have to taste it. And it tastes like there's a little something missing. It's probably because instead of using yogurt, which is what they use in Bangladesh, I decided to be fancy schmancy and use creme fraiche. So at this point, since I've already deviated a little bit from the actual recipe, why not put in a little bit of California vinegar, just a touch of it. Now it says champagne vinegar, but it doesn't actually have any alcohol in it at this point. It smells really good. Maybe just like a little dabble. Can't hurt. After all, you're making it in a Le Creuset pot, so just a little touch here. So now I take my incongruous bits. I got this really heavy Dutch oven and head over to the dining room. So the glory of Bangla food is that it tastes delicious, but it doesn't always look extravagant. Now, one thing you have to remember with eating biryani, and this is an absolute necessity, in Bangladesh, during all of the weddings, after we're given our biryani, you have a bottle of Coke, and it has to be a glass bottle of Coca-Cola, and it must be with cane sugar, not high fructose corn syrup. For whatever reason, because of nostalgia, Coca-Cola makes the flavor of biryani that much better. And first I thought it was just in my mind where Coke from a glass bottle tastes better, but it really does taste better. Like my friends are like, come on over.